what we're going to do, we're going to solve this using the formula. We call it quadratic formula. Yeah, we're stepping it up. Now we're going to use a quadratic formula. All right, so to solve this, remember, it's supposed to look like this. X squared plus bx plus c, which is the standard form. All right, now, with the standard form, I have three terms. 1, 2, 3, right? All right. But if you look here, you have the 1, you have the 2, but the 3 is not here. It's on the other side of the equation. It's farther away. They're supposed to be right next to each other, like right next to each other. But the 3 is on the outside. So what you need to do is bring the 3 over. So if it happens that they're not consecutively following each other, you have to bring all the terms to be right next to each other. So by bringing that over, remember we talked about this, it's traveling back to the other side, so the sign has to change. It's like you go to a different country. We have, if you go to a country, you have a different time. If you travel, same thing here. So the x squared plus 8x, now I'm bringing the negative 12 from one side of the country. The time has to change. The sign has to change. It'll be plus 12. All right? All right, now the A term, which is supposed to be right here, there's an invisible 1 right here. A term is 1. The B term, which is right here, that is 8. The C term that we have now moved over is right here. The C term is 12. Now we're going to use those three numbers to plug in the quadratic formula. This is when we start doing the work. All right, now that I have identified my three numbers, I have to plug them in. The formula, you're going to use a formula as stated. So we're going to say negative the letter B. We know B has to be 8. You put 8. All right, let's continue. Plus or minus square root. All right, B again. B is 8. B squared, that comes from the formula, right? Let's continue. Minus 4. And I like to open the parentheses. I'd rather put the A and C in parentheses. All right, so A value, it's 1. All right, and then the C value is 12. 12. And then it says over 2 times the A value. Again, input those numbers in parentheses at first. All right, here's what we have. I just used those three numbers that we came up with and we plugged them in the formula. All right, let's continue our deal. All right, negative 8, that hasn't changed. Plus or minus A squared is like 8 times 8. A squared means 8 times 8, which equals to 64. You'd be surprised how many people say 16. All right, so I'm going to write 64 minus 4 times 1 times 12, that is 48. And all of that is divided by, so 2 times, so that will be just 2, right? Because 2 times 1 is 2. All right, let's continue. Negative 8 plus or minus 64 minus 48, I believe is 16. I still have the 2 here. I'm out of room, so I'm going to bring my work right here. So negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 16. Now let me just bring it back here. It was like this, right? So we know that the square root of 16 has to be 4. You could just plug that in your calculator. All right, when you get down here, notice we have two signs, right? We have the plus and the minus. That means you're going to have two answers, right? That means you're going to do this. So, all right, so let's do the first one. You're going to have negative 8 plus 4 divided by 2 on this side. And on the other side, you're going to do the minus part. 4 divided by 2. All right, so let's do this side here. Negative 8 plus 4, it should give you negative 4 divided by 2. The answer comes up to be negative 2. That's one of your answers. And to get the other one, negative 8 minus 4, that's negative 12. Negative 12 divided by 2, you get negative 6. Done deal. Your answer are these two right here. All right, this is how you do it. All right, so you go ahead and do the next practice. I think you have at least three or maybe, yeah, three, but I don't know. Just do the next stuff.